A couple months ago, I made a video going over several Ben 10 Flash games that you can find back on the Cartoon Network website. And a lot of you guys seem to love that video. And recently, I've been drinking that good old nostalgia juice, reminiscing on just how good we used to have it. Since being an adult, quite frankly, kind of sucks. I got rent due. This shit ain't fun. So to relive my childhood again, I turned back into the good old Flash games archive. But this time, I turned my attention at all of Cartoon Network shows. Because not only were tons of them super lovable, they also produced some of the best online Flash games that ran mine and many of yours childhood. For this video, I went back in those archives and of course my memory to pick out and replay some of my favorite Cartoon Network Flash games. And what better game to kick off the video with than arguably one of the most fondly remembered Cartoon Network Flash games, Teen Titans Battle Blitz. Battle Blitz is a 2D fighting game that was made to help promote the release of the TV show back in 2003. This game was absolute fire. The game allowed you to play as 5 Titans and their early villains like Jinx, Gizmo, Mammoth, Cinderblock, and Plasmus. In the game, you'd pick a difficulty and go through stages like the typical arcade mode in fighting games. Each character can perform actual combos with certain keyboard inputs, and as the Titans, you can summon other members for assistance in team-up attacks. The only downside of this game was that the villain characters kind of got the short end of the stick, with all of them except Plasmus having 3 combos, while all the other Titans all have 4. They also don't get to use any assist attacks with the other villains because, I don't know, I guess they don't really get along. They're villains, so. The game was still a blast though, as playing as the Titans and using some of the most powerful attacks like Robin's giant electric disc blast that would cover up damn near the entire screen, or being able to use Beast Boy's animal forms made it feel like you were playing the show on your computer. That's like the highest compliment you can give a game. Battle Blitz is a fun way to waste a couple minutes as you try out all 5 Titans and maybe even struggle a bit on the hardest difficulty. Banger. Next up is Tag Team Titans. Tag Team Titans is one of the many platformer Flash games that were commonplace during this era. In this game, Brother Blood and the Hive have attacked the Titans Tower so that they can take over the world. You once again are able to control all 5 Titans, who all come with their own special abilities. Robin can double jump and throw his discus, Cyborg can shoot projectiles from his sonic cannon, Starfire can glide and has her eye blast, Raven can move objects, and Beast Boy can fly as a bat and uses other animal forms such as the T-Rex and the Ram to deal damage. There's also a total of 12 levels and 3 boss stages in this game, giving this game a decent amount of length, though it gets pretty old to me after a few stages. Switching between the Titans is fun and all, and I like the Titans East boss stage, but it's a lot of simple, easy platforming with generic enemies. My favorite thing about this game is how it reminds you of a Game Boy Advance game. Like, it has that charming aesthetic that really fits the Titans perfectly, and that's honestly why it's always stuck out to me. Similar to the last game, Calling All Titans carries a similar vibe to Tag Team Titans with a similar aesthetic, though this time around 4 villains, Mad Mod, Cinderblock, Plasmian, and Overload are all here to attack the city. Seeing these 4 villains next to each other and read out loud was kind of funny because you have like 3 hulking mutated monsters and then just a British dude who hate young kids. You go around exploring different areas to stop them, leading you to the big bad of the game, Slade. Unlike the last game though, you actually start off with 1 Titan, and as you progress throughout the game, your team will expand, allowing you to switch between them. The gameplay here is really interesting. The game reminds me a lot of Ben 10 Battle Ready, the GOAT of all Flash games by the way. But instead of basic attacks, you engage in combat through playing various mini games. It's a neat concept, especially for a Flash game, as I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in a Flash game. It really helps keep this game stay engaging, especially the boss stages that are full-on platforming levels like a Mega Man or Super Mario. Though not all the mini games here are as fun, as some of them can be uber basic, making them pretty boring, like Rooftop Run for example.
One more for the whole team.
Taking the name of one of the best Sonic levels in history and making it a spacebar jump simulator, like, shame on you for disrespecting our GOAT. However, these mini games go by pretty quick, so even if you run into one you dislike, it's really over in a flash. So it's really easy to have a super fun time with this one. Now, this next one may be a hot take, but I never really liked Teen Titans one-on-one. In this game, you pick a Titan and you play through their gameplay section as they chase down one of their tailored villains. A lot of these are really basic. As Raven, you go after Overload, who's destroying an entire building, and you use the falling debris to break the other falling debris to stop them from hitting the ground. To be honest, Raven's level was definitely the hardest for me, though that may be because my finger game has gotten weak, as I'm not able to make those quick mouse movements as I was able to when I was, back in my prime as a youngin. Thankfully, the Overload boss is easy, as you stop his attacks the same way you've stopped them before, and to deal damage to him, you just grab one of the water jugs that are conveniently placed next to him, and boom, splash, he's dead. Cyborg's level is honestly the worst one in my opinion, with it being a typical running shooter minigame as you shoot oncoming projectiles, and the boss battle is just you shooting Atlas as he just stands there, and yeah, you win. And Starfire level, you dodge Mumbo's magic, while in Robin level, you dodge cars and some weird machine-looking contraption sent at you by Red X. The only difference in their gameplay is Starfire can charge up her attacks to deal more damage, and Robin's attacks have the potential to overheat, so be careful in Robin's level. Beast Boy easily has the best gameplay section here though, with him having to navigate levels using his Cheetah and Falcon transformations, making his segments still fun after 2 minutes, which I can't say the same for the other ones. Also find it hilarious that Mad Mod's the boss in his level, and the boss is literally just him running away from you and he goes down in one hit. The Beast Boy levels honestly carried this game because without his sections, I think this would be a bottom 5 Flash game of all time. I went over a ton of Ben 10 Flash games in my other video, so before you go to commenting where are the more popular ones, I suggest you watch that video after this one, as I'll only be going over a few Ben 10 ones here that I missed in that video. Starting off with Hero Matrix. Hero Matrix was a fan favorite in the community because it lets you create your very own Ben 10 alien. Kind of. The idea behind it is fantastic. This is a game that I'm sure took hours from tons of Ben 10 fans like me. Though the aliens you make, whether it be a beast, humanoid, or blobulous, they all kind of end up looking the same no matter what, even with all the various limb, tail, mouth, wings, torso, and color options you are able to choose from. All the aliens will more than likely always look like this Frankenstein's creature, just very fucking ugly. This is still a kick-ass idea for a Flash game though that kept fueling the Ben 10-aholic in me, as just like everything else Ben 10, I was disgustingly obsessed with it. For this one, it'll be a 2-for-1 since these are basically the same game. Ben 10 Alien Device and Mystery of the Mayan Sword. Both these games are your typical point-and-click story games where you solve puzzles with the help of Ben's aliens. Unlike most point-and-click games, these two are relatively short, which I appreciated. Alien Device has you chasing after Vilgax and even running into Kevin for a little bit, making it a sort of original story, while Mystery of the Mayan Sword is just you sort of playing through the classic series episode Ultimate Weapon, which in comparison makes it the less interesting entry between the two. Both these games though are enjoyable, especially the first time around, as they offer you a story to make your way through by pointing and clicking to collect objects and clues while playing through select moments of combat and action segments, even if they are super bare bones. You can also bother grabbing collectibles though. I didn't bother searching for any of them. Also, really funny fact to me, the Mayan Sword game ends off with Ben getting captured by Animo, which I guess teases a third game, but sadly never happened. So this universe is Ben gets no div by Animo, it just is never seen again. So damn, rip bozo. Now this is a game I left out of my Ben 10 video on purpose because I feel like it would have been more appropriate in a video like this. Heroes United is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game which Ben 10 is no stranger to, as it's very reminiscent of Omnitrix and Ultimatrix Unleashed, though in my opinion it tops those games, as this is the best game of the style Cartoon Network has made. For starters, you get to play as either Ben or Rex, offering for some replayability here and variety. As Rex, you can use his Punk Busters, Smack Hands, and his Slam Cannon, while as Ben you can use Wrath, Diamond Head, and the rare Ultimate Alien version of Shock Squatch, my beloved. Though the real reason why I say this game is the best of its kind was the fact that it was 2-player. You and a buddy could go through the story as both Ben and Rex, or 1v1 each other in the versus mode. I had so much fun playing this in class with my bros, as it was one of the few 2-player action games on the site that the school didn't fucking block. And it also came with a story. Come on now, what more can you want from this? Just like the crossover, this game is indeed absolute cinema. Now, I got another hot take coming up for this one, but I'm not a big fan of K&D Operation Startup. I know this is one of the more beloved Flash games, with you being able to play as all 5 of the main K&D agents as you navigate the treehouse looking for certain items to help you go up against their villains. I liked this game a lot more when I was younger, as I really enjoyed the solving puzzle stuff combined with the exploration that lets you go to many areas of the treehouse in multiple of the character segments. Plus, I could play as my GOAT number 4. But looking back on it and playing it a bit, this shit is kind of boring. The bosses are easily the best part, as they change up the gameplay by putting you in these unique action encounters that honestly could make for their own separate Flash games. I really like number 5's Candy Cane fencing and number 4's shootout section to be specific. The exploration aspect of the game, while I like it, is bogged down a ton by the characters' fucking snail-paced movement. God, they move so slow. It becomes even more unbearable as number 4 and number 2 can't jump in their levels, so it's just a hard time all around. I mean, the puzzle platform idea definitely fits K&D, but it could have been executed a lot better. Now let's get back to some real peak, because LunchRoom Rumble is a strong contender for greatest Cartoon Network Flash game. In this game, you are able to play as one of the many Ed, Edd n Eddy characters as you battle it out in an all-out food fight. I spent an ungodly amount of hours on this game. Running around this chaotic cafeteria slinging food like it's a life or death situation had me thrilled as a kid. The game just had so much to love in it, like the extensive character roster who all came accompanied with unique stats and special moves you can use use when you pick up a jawbreaker in the levels, or how the game's NPCs show you like no mercy and will literally overwhelm you. And the gameplay itself, like how going to the food booth automatically reloads your ammo, all made this game one of the greatest dopamine rushes for a child. It has so much charm for being a pretty basic Flash game, to be honest. And like Benton Battle Ready, this is one of those Flash games I sometimes get the urge to revisit every once in a while, as it can really be that damn fun. Next up is another Ed Eddie banger. Cul De Sac Smash 1 and 2 are both peak, bro. You have to be there, man. These games are straight up chaotic fun as you pick a character and take their car into what's basically a demolition ring. The goal of the game is to ram into other cars, making them fucking blow up and be the last one standing. Ramping up enough speed to send someone's car into a blazing pit of fire is what kept my youth pure. They've decided to put the cherry on top as they offer a full part customization system where you can buy parts and repair your damaged car. The sequel ended up introducing special abilities for the characters, adding even more insanity to this already chaotic game. It also came with some new maps and new looking carts, but both games are basically the same in concept, and both games are equally as fun, even at my big age of 22. Now, while these games weren't necessarily on the Cartoon Network website, I believe they're adjacent enough for me to include because they are also masterpieces themselves. Scooby-Doo, Mayan, Mayhem, and Horror of the High Seas were these multi-part adventures with Shaggy and Scooby and had them go on their own little adventure. I adored these games growing up because they were so interesting to me. They had their own voice acted cutscenes and had several episodes, making it a legit story you could follow. The gameplay was simple, with you just navigating areas to solve puzzles by collecting items to help you traverse to the next stage and, rinse and repeat. Though at the end of the stage, you would set up a trap for the monster that would definitely make Fred proud. The Mayan game even included small sections of different gameplay, like a boat level and one of Shaggy and Scooby running up a temple. These games were pure gems with the levels ever put into them. It really felt like you were watching a spin-off show with Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. No shade to Shaggy and Scooby to get a clue, because I like that show, but this is what you should have been. Scooby-Doo Creepy Castle is a great example of a well-done point-and-click game. In it, the gang has been captured all but Shaggy and Scooby. Shaggy sends Scooby into the spooky castle to find the gang by himself, which is like really fucked up, Shaggy. Like really fucked up. The game has you protecting Scooby from a ghost who will jump and scare Scooby if given the opportunity. I cite this game as a great example of a point-and-click game because it has some depth to it, with how you have to seek out the ghost and shut doors and windows on him, drop cannonballs on his head, and all sorts of other things to save Scooby. Sometimes though, just closing doors and windows isn't enough, as you sometimes have to lock them by picking up locks along the adventure, along with other items to help you take out the ghost too. It's a simple, fun game that doesn't take long to finish and is overall a great premise for a Scooby-Doo Flash game. The music here is also a banger. I don't know who be composing for these Flash games, but a lot of them have fucking amazing music. They cook every fucking time. Now, I'm sure none of you remember My Jip Partner's a Monkey, as it was a really obscure and unknown show, but I'm sure plenty of you have played this Flash game, Hall of Wild 1 and 2. These games are once again your platforming Flash games where you play as the main character from the show navigating his school, but shockingly enough, these are both masterpieces in the platforming Flash game genre, especially when it comes to Cartoon Network. The 3 levels in each game have so much personality and life in them, making them all a blast to go through, especially with the help of his monkey Jake, and yeah, not the dog. The 3 levels in each game have so much personality and life put into them, making them all a blast to go through. Jake will help swing and boost you up through these levels, but there's also the environment that you can use too, like sliding down some bamboo or swinging from vines to get to the next platform. This game was a blast back then when I was younger, and I got a kick out of it again when I played it recently. It was so fun that I even thought about collecting all the boxes and doorknob collectibles, but I held my horses. I don't love it that much. To contrast a really good platforming game, here's a really bad one. Billy and Mandy Harum Scarum is a bland platformer. You play as Billy and Mandy as you are able to switch between the two of them and use various weapons, such as a melee weapon and a scythe, and various projectiles from eggs, toilet paper, banana peels, and glue. Oh, and also dynamite, because kids gotta have dynamite. I also like the pumpkin enemies in this game and their designs, especially the big large bosses, but besides that and the weapon variety, this one doesn't do it for me. Its gameplay isn't as fun to hold me up for 3 levels, and the platforming is like really straightforward along with the combat. It doesn't even have a story like most of these games do. I will commend it though for its difficulty, as this game is not easy, which did motivate me to keep playing. We once again got another certified hood classic here in Tom and Jerry Trap-O-Matic. This is another amazing Flash game with a premise that makes for a lot of fun. In this game, you play as Tom as you build a trap to catch Jerry, and the game gives you like tons of options to help you build a trap. All the devices here all have varying effects, and the 2 levels allow allow for endless creativity and replayability, especially since making the perfect trap feels like doing algebra, except like it's actually fun. Seriously, I just can't get over how much this game allows you to do. You can make some simple traps, or you can build the most elaborate shit that comes to your mind, and trying to make it actually work only for it to fail is still fun. This game sucked tons of hours from us as kids, and it could do it again as an adult if you try it out again. Chowder Bookin Cook is, to put it simple, a point and click version of the game Overcooked. You play as Chowder and you take orders from customers. You click on Schnitzel to have him make the main food item. Then, if you're requested to, you go to one of the many machines that has sauce or other weird condiments like eyeballs or octopus limbs. Like Overcooked and similar games, the farther you get, the harder it becomes, with more complex recipes, customers appearing quicker, and their patience becoming thinner. Oh, and Panini's here to be an annoyance, so you know, that also helps. Though the game sort of throws you a bone with a cupcake that you can use to restore customers' patience, still gave me a bit of trouble in those deeper levels with those more complex recipes. The game can be hard at times, which for some is a plus, though I enjoyed this a lot more when I was younger, as a simple point and clicking became very stale after a couple minutes. Foster's Home, a friend in need, has you toss blue to help keep him away from this bratty girl who's basically trying to kidnap him. The game is all about angles, as you have to throw blue at the right angle for the other character to grab him, though it can get pretty stressful at times, as the girl in the middle does start to pick up the pace, applying some real pressure like she's Prime Ray Lewis or something. Overall, it's a basic and quick game that's actually pretty fun, making it the perfect game to play to pass time in class if you were me in middle school. Lastly, we have a Flash game that is very near and dear to my heart, TKO, also known as Titanic Kung Fu Bot Offense. This game is a true display of genius that really showed why we love Cartoon Network so much, as they made some cool ass shit when it came time to do a crossover. TKO was a fighting game where you played as robot versions of various Cartoon Network characters. After all its updates, TKO gave you access to a total of 28 characters, most of them, might I brag about, being from Ben 10. You can perform light and heavy attacks along with the characters' unique special abilities. It honestly was nothing special in terms of a web browser fighting game, but what made it so special was the robot designs for the characters, making for fun and goofy looking designs, along with the hard red and black color palette. The game gave off like this cage map type of vibe that hooked every young boy who loved those shows. TKO is a sign of the times that just hits you with a wave of nostalgia just looking at it. I'm sad that I couldn't find any way to play this one again, because it's one of the Flash games that were super important to me as a child. I used to log on weekly to see if they added any new characters. The quality of Cartoon Network's Flash games were truly unmatched. Even the ones that I found lackluster, I still felt the childish happiness run through my body as if I were a kid again while playing them. There are hundreds of more Flash games Cartoon Network made that I didn't cover in this video, so let me know down below what Flash game was your favorite, and if you want me to cover some more of them, let me know. Though, heads up, if I do make another one of these Flash game videos, I'll probably be heading over to Nickelodeon to see what they had to offer. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I got some big videos planned that you don't want to miss, especially if you like Cartoon Network shows and, you know, just anything else animated. Until next time, though, it's been your boy Dan, the Boy Wonder, signing out. Peace.